Ryobi came out with a new 15-inch string trimmer that has a carbon fiber split shaft that is attachment ready for any of your EXPAND-IT attachments. Very cool, sitting here. We're gonna go through this thing top to bottom, talk to you about what it does, what it doesn't do, what you wanna think about if you're gonna purchase it, and just a few other things that might come up down the way. Stick with us. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on with this, but let's hit some basics. First, this is model number RY40290. This is Ryobi's 40-volt HP, so you might recognize that denotation if you've seen it from the 18 volts. So it's a high-performance 15-inch carbon fiber string trimmer that is attachment ready and will use the Ryobi EXPAND-IT line. So if you have an older electric or even an older cordless model that has the expanded attachments, they will connect up here. Super cool. This is a carbon fiber shaft. Now, why carbon fiber? It's strong. It's used in a lot of automotive products. It's expensive if you want to do it right. It can be very, very thin. This is not super thin, but it is strong. It's not going to be the super expensive carbon fiber you're going to see in cars. It does look very cool, and normally people use this for weight, but this unit comes in at 10.5 pounds. Now, without the battery, there's not much to it, and when you just pick up the attachments at the end, there's really not much there at all. But with that said, 10.5 pounds is still pretty average for a string trimmer. So if you're picking this up because it's carbon fiber, the carbon fiber part to you is going to mean a little more rigidity, strength, and cool factor. It's not really going to save you on a lot of weight. Now, this unit comes with a 3-in-1 string trimmer head, and the instructions are absolutely horrible and don't talk about it. But we are going to go through this string trimmer head top to bottom, show you everything that it does and doesn't do in a bit. First, I want to get to performance. Being that this is one of the Ryobi 40-volt tools, we expect more performance than the 18 volts. People think, in their head, higher voltage, more performance. And in this case, this unit definitely has good power. It comes with the Ryobi 4-amp-hour battery, so you can pick up a 5-amp-hour battery, a 6-amp-hour battery, and I'd highly suggest if you have one of their mowers, go up to that 6-amp-hour battery mower, grab that so you can use it on this if you'd like. This 4-amp-hour battery is going to give you approximately 23 to 25 minutes of runtime, and that's string trimming runtime. That's not constant running. That's me walking around the yard, doing some trimming, and sometimes the trimmer's on, sometimes the trimmer's off. So your actual on runtime is going to be significantly less. That's pretty standard with battery operated equipment, and if you're picking this up thinking that it's going to do a whole farm, this is not for you. Now, if you do upgrade to that 6-amp-hour battery, it is a 3P setup rather than 2, so it has 3 sets of 40-volt batteries in it, significantly heavier than the smaller pack, but will give you significantly more runtime. There's a trade-off there between weight and runtime. So here, great power, everything's good. You have a high and a low on this. So if you want to conserve battery, drop down to low, although your RPMs will suffer in that case and you won't have the same performance. I normally would tell you to use your trigger finger to save on the battery. You don't need full throttle as you're string trimming all the time. With this model, you don't get that great of control. So if you're heading over from a gas unit and you're coming into this, it's not going to make you feel super comfortable. And let me show you a little bit why. Brushless motors typically don't like going from 0 to full throttle. So if we hit this, just a spring on the end, came off, no worries. We can put that right back on. You can hear that it takes a while to ramp up, but if I blip the trigger, there are cases where it just doesn't start coming up to speed because the motor is like, do I put power in, do I not? And that's fairly normal for this situation, and you'll see it across the line in a lot of different string trimmers. So that's going to be something that this trigger is just not as reactive as some people will be used to in a gas trimmer. So if you find that, that's completely normal. Also, this trigger has a safety, and you really have to pull on it and hold it for full throttle. That is one thing that I found myself probably leaning to maybe 80% throttle a lot, because if I pulled and held it, it was a lot for me just to hold. So the trigger on this, in my opinion, could be improved, especially if you're trying to hit a market that is looking for a lighter weight, easier to use model, because holding that full throttle takes a little bit of work. Performance was great. You can probably get closer to 40 minutes with the 6 amp hour battery pack. That doesn't add up math wise, but what I found in the shop area working around our farm with that, it worked a lot better. Now what I want to do is come in and take a look at this head so we can go over all the different things that it does, because I think that's important since there's very little instructions on it. The 3-in-1 head that comes with the carbon fiber string trimmer is actually pretty nice for homeowner use. You have an arrow and a lock on one side, and you have an arrow and a lock on the other. All you need to do is match up the arrows on the head with this, and then turn towards the lock. Now the first time you do that, it's going to be pretty tough, and taking it off, you're gonna have to put some pressure there, but it is actually very simple after you figure it out. Now to load this quick feed head, this is the bump tool that you would use to feed line while it was going out. You just turn this guy to load spool, and you can hold 10 feet of line here. You're just gonna push it through one side, and it's going to come out the other. And then we want to just even it up, so we have the same amount of line on both sides. And then there's a tool here for loading this to make it faster. Now this tool is going to work if everything here is not super dirty or wore out, and then you would just turn. If it is wore out, you can just turn it normally if you don't have the tool. This tool makes it faster. So we would bring this in to the point where we have our line not too long. Maybe we'll bump it out a little bit. And then our cutter back here, which is set up in the 15-inch swath. If you want to drop this down to a 13-inch, you just take out those 2 Phillips screws, turn this head around, and that will take off 2 more inches when it is cutting the line, and it'll be shorter. So that head's done. This one's easy. There are some instructions on it. The other head that you get is this guy. It's not complicated. Basically here you get 2 of these plastic cutters. They're very nice and work great in weeds. They do not work good against fences and houses, but these simply go over top, and you can see that this bottom section here just goes inside, and it locks this in place. So these are able to move. You can also use this as a fixed line trimmer where it will loop the line through like this, and you just pull it straight so you have the same amount of line, and you can put, you know, you're going to put 2 of these on, or you're going to go with each side having the fixed line. Just showing it this way for the basics here. This is not as intuitive, but it's simple. So these arrows have little holes behind them. Those holes are going to hold these pieces to keep whatever you have in place. So you're just going to push this down and then turn. So in this case, we want to make sure that this little guy is going to stay in place, and you are going to have to take this head off to replace any of your plastic cutters. But in this side, if you wanted to pull this line off and replace it, you wouldn't have to deal with the bump feed head. You just cut your section of line and then push it through this. Make sure it's equal, pull it tight, and you're set and ready to go. It'll automatically cut it, and you can just rock and roll that way. So the head's easy to use. It just Sucks that they didn't put much in the instructions. The power head is very simple. As you can see, we do have our high and low here. There is a safety on the trigger that you'll pull back, and then it'll allow you to pull the trigger. They have a little sticker here. It says handle position here. Now I'm taller, I'm 6'4", so I moved that up. And one thing to note, this is a plastic wing nut down here. Just be careful when you first thread it so you don't cross thread it. But it is a tough one and it's able to hold, so no big deal. I moved this around so you have a comfortable position, no issue. And then your head down here at the bottom, this normally would be some sort of a fine thread, but it is a very short throw and it will tighten this up quickly. So nice, easy to use. You can see you have holes here and holes on the side. It's all going to depend on what you're going to attach as to where those holes go. If it's this string trimmer, you can see we have a little push button here. We'll just get this guy in place. Put them there, and then it takes about a turn and it's tight. That's as simple as what it is to attach something to this string trimmer head. So Ryobi comes out on the box and recommends 0.095 line. It can run 0.080, which is thin, or 0.095, which is a little bit thicker. And they tell you flat out, we recommend it. And it comes with twisted line. Now, I don't want to go into the twisted, smooth, braided, all that stuff. The line that comes with it, just know that it's really not that great. And that's somewhat flat across tools. You know, you buy a circular saw, most of the time you're upgrading the blade. You're just trying to get something better. And this is true with 90%, if not 99% of all string trimmers that are going to be sold. So this line does well. It's not great by any means. It likes to fray at the ends, and when it does fray, then that gives you a little bit more of a struggle while you're cutting things, and it doesn't make it feel like this unit cuts as well as it actually does. So I'm going to highly recommend that you look in the description below. I'll put a link to some great line down there, and go with 0.095 line with this. It's going to help you out. It's got all the power in the world to do that, and the cut quality and user experience will be 100 times better. And also, if you have older lines sitting around, soak it in water overnight. This stuff actually soaks up water and will become less brittle and won't break if it has some water inside of it, and it's just good for the line. So don't store your line for long periods of time without soaking it before use. It just simply becomes brittle. Now on the other side, you know, grab some of these Ryobi plastic cutters. They work great if you're not up against a building and you're doing heavier weeds. It will cut immensely great in those situations compared to this line. 100% love this and love this idea. As far as what we're going to go through on here, as far as what you're going to get, I've kind of gone through that top to bottom. The carbon fiber part is cool to see. I don't really know if it really changes much except some rigidity. As far as hanging on to this tool, you know, it's great. Everything works well. It gives me a little bit different feeling from the Milwaukees, the Makitas, and the Steels that I'm a little bit more used to, but it definitely works well, and it does have a counterclockwise rotation at the bottom. So if you're coming from gas, it will be rotating in the same direction. And that just makes your path around the house or whatever direction the same, so it's very familiar. You do have a 3-year warranty on the battery and a 5-year warranty on the tool. And as I said, keep your receipt. And if you run across another one of the tools, their inverter, their lawnmowers or something, think about upgrading so you can get that 6 amp hour battery. That 6 amp hour battery is definitely very, very nice. This is a pretty good homeowner tool. It's priced at $229, so right in that area, there's a lot of competition. So if you're looking for different ones, we just did a review on a Milwaukee one video back. That's a newer brushless model that was really cool. It had a great trigger. Didn't have the different heads with it, and it wasn't carbon fiber, but it really weighed pretty much the same. So 6 to one, half dozen to another. This has some benefits, but it also doesn't have some of the quality trigger components like the other model did. It's very interesting when you get in and use a lot of these different string trimmers and you start to feel different things. This one was very, very smooth, very, very little vibration, which is a huge upgrade from when the Ryobi first came out with their EXPAND-IT line. You could feel that shaft moving around inside your string trimmer tube. This is definitely not there. Very smooth. I love it. So Ryobi is coming out with better and better stuff all the time, and we appreciate that. Guys, if you haven't, please give us a like in this video, subscribe to the channel. As always, we appreciate your time. Have a great day.